You can find and filter everything that New Relic is tracking for you in a single place with Entity Explorer to view just the entities that are meaningful to you. In this tutorial, you'll learn how to view and find your data in the Entity Explorer and filter using tags to find just the data that you need. You can search, view, sort, and filter your entities by tags across any account that you have access to using Entity Explorer. Every piece of data has a source, and every source is an entity. So basically, an entity is something that you monitor. For example, you'd monitor a microservice, a mobile app, Kubernetes cluster, or a Lambda function. Right now, the main list on the center of the page is displaying all of my service entities, meaning everything that I have instrumented in APM. This is because services is the default option selected in the left-hand navigation. I'll come back to that in a moment. First, I want to look more closely at the data being displayed in the main table for services. The main table is showing all my service entities. I can sort the table by clicking on the column headers, name, response time, throughput, or error rate, and I'll sort by response time. Now I can see all of the apps that have the highest response time. Let's say I want to find my provisioning service. I could scroll for it on the list, but because I know the name, I can just search for it at the top of the table. I can also click on a service to open its detail page. Here on the detail page, I can see more information about the entity. To return, I can go back on my browser or click on Services in the breadcrumbs at the top of the page. Finally, I can favorite any entity by clicking the star icon. This makes it possible to sort my list by my favorites. And it adds my favorites to a list on my view of the New Relic homepage. We've been looking at application entities. The left-hand navigation shows us the rest of our entities. The number in parentheses is the amount of entities in each category. Below services is hosts. When I click this, I see a list of everything I have instrumented in infrastructure. Below hosts is mobile and browser. I can click on any of these to see a list of applications for these New Relic products. Below these main categories are entity categories for AWS, Google Cloud, or on-host integrations. New Relic only shows categories for what you're tracking, so your Entity Explorer's left-hand navigation will be tailored to your system. For instance, you might see categories relating to ELB load balancers for an AWS integration. Let's say right now I want to check just my hosts in a certain AWS region. I filter all my hosts by AWS region using the default tags added by the AWS integration. To do this, I'll click on the filter menu at the top of the page. The filter dropdown shows all tags for all entities across all the accounts that I have access to, regardless of what is in the main content area. You can select any tag that you have created or that has been generated by an integration. There's a lot of tags, and I can narrow down the list by typing in the tag that I'm looking for. I'm looking for US East 1, and when I click on that, I can see just the entities I'm looking for. Now that you're familiar with the Entity Explorer interface, try it out by exploring your own system in the Entity Explorer.